Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we are doing the weekly October 6th to 12th for the sign of Taurus. Alright, my lovely Tauruses. I am a Taurus rising myself, so I do resonate with these readings a lot. So let's get right into it. Of course, this is timestamp. You can go in the description and jump ahead. We'll pull out your 3 romance angel messages, your 3 spirit animals, and then we'll get into your forecast. Separation. Wow. And reconciliation. Make the effort. All right. So we have some interesting cards here, right? Separation, reconciliation, and make the effort. All right, so let's go ahead and pull out your animal spirit cards for the week. And of course, with the weeklies, the animal spirits can represent people you're dealing with or events that are coming into your life, right? Let me pull my globe in. I love my little globe. All right, here we go. So, Taurus, let's see what kind of animal spirits you're dealing with. They may be walking with you. They may be walking with people you're dealing with this week, or indicative of the personality traits that they're drawing on this week. Last week, of course, there was a prevalence of the elephant coming through for a lot of you. I think almost half the readings had elephant energy. So let's see what it is this week. We have horse energy, earth energy, beautiful. One of the highest cards for freedom and self-mastery in terms of earth energy. Spider, Dharma. Spider is associated with Dharma. And we have the whale, associated with very deep, deep strength, right? Now, before we go ahead into your spreads, let's go ahead and just get into these cards. So the horse. What is the horse synonymous with? Well, we already know the horse is the great master of earth energy, right? One of the highest cards for self-mastery, right? Highly creative, has an ability to sort of see situations and see possible outcomes of situations, right? As indicated by this crescent at the third eye. The horse comes in with an extreme amount of strength and stamina and will carry you through any difficult situation, all right? In a very earthy, practical way. No matter how rough the terrain is, no matter how far you have to go, the horseman or the horse energy comes in to support you. It will not let you down, will not fail you, and ultimately will work with you towards manifesting your freedom from anything, whether it be from self-limiting ideas, things in the material plane or the emotional and spiritual plane. The horse is always about supporting you towards your travel to freedom from restrictions. Now, the spider is a beautiful card as well. This is earth energy, very different to the tarantula, which is associated with fire. But the spider is the card that is the representative of Dharma, right? Now, what is Dharma? Dharma is when we live our life according to our spiritual or moral center. When everything that we do must be done in support of that, right? This is to say that, you don't come home at night and meditate with your crystals for hours, and then in the morning you wake up and walk out the door and you're an asshole to everyone. You know what I mean? Dharma is someone who carries through their beliefs and their values, their moral code, and everything that they do. And in this way, they begin to build this beautiful web of spiritual and financial support. Right? Every step that the spider makes, the spider doesn't need to know the plan for the web. As long as the step that the spider makes is always in line with its center, its moral center, its dharma, right? In line with its personal dharma for life, it will naturally follow that this beautiful pattern is created because each step is always in sync with the last one. Now the whale is water energy. So we've had 2 earth and a water. And the whale is in for what? Deep, deep emotional support. Why? The whale is one of the few creatures that has not only an immense amount of power, but it has an immense amount of capacity for handling tragedy, trauma, life's emotional ups and downs. The whale is one of those creatures that can go very, very deep into the water, to the ocean, bottoms of the ocean, where the pressure is very, very heavy. This is the same metaphor for life emotionally. Sometimes we go very deep and it's very heavy. It's very emotional. The whale comes in to support us in times like this, right? To buoy us up, to give us the strength to carry through, and to give us the strength to be able to learn from difficult scenarios. All right, so let's get right into Taurus. Let's get right into your 3-card spreads for the week. We're going to pull out 5 to 8 spreads, depending on how long I stay on each one. I do try to make this video short, 20 minutes or less. Sometimes it runs a bit over. And again, you can go in the description. It is timestamped. You can jump ahead and jump back if you'd like. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting me. I really appreciate this support that I see from my subscribers. You guys are really, really lovable, and just, I feel like you got my back. So let's get into it. Of course, if you want to get a private reading, you can follow the link that's going to be at the top of your screen, or you can go ahead and follow the link in the description. Let's get right into it. Taurus, 4 of Cups, interesting. 10 of Swords and the Magician. All right, so just move this up a little bit. So 4 of Cups, some of you are being handed a cup of love by somebody. You're not going to take it. Why? Because you're just not sure. You don't trust them. You don't believe that they're really being sincere. Or even if they are being sincere, you're not sure that they have the ability to provide the kind of stability that you need in a relationship, right? And so this is my show and prove card. I always say, my regulars know. This is my card that tells you, listen, your cup of love looks like all the other cups that I've been given before. What makes your cup of love any different? I'm not going to take it until you can show me that you're different, right? Until you can give me a bit more than just an empty cup. How else can you explain that, right? There's not much more to be said. It's really pretty straightforward. Oftentimes this card is misinterpreted as somebody who's being stubborn or selfish. It's not the case at all. So 10 of Swords, we go on, right? So you kind of say, nah, to the cup of love. And you're like, look, show me a bit more. Show me a bit more stability. It could be someone you've been separated from. But then you have this 10 of Swords. And you're really coming to the end of a period where you've been putting up with difficult relationships, right? This 10 of Swords, I'm going to say, Taurus, for some of you, the fact that you've said no to this cup of love, it's giving you the strength to kind of move to this 10 of Swords, which is to finally take the last step to move away from a period in your life where you've always been the victim. You've always been the one who's sort of gotten the short end of the stick. And I'm not going to say for your whole life, but for this period of time, right? You're the one who kind of always had to pay the price in relationships. Communication has always ended up hurting you. And so you realize you have the strength to get away from this. And you come through with the 10 of Swords. And you finally let go of this stage of your life. And you come out of it stronger, wiser, more confident. And you resonate with Magician energy. You really, really feel good and strong, and I'm going to say you feel confident, and finally a lot of the abilities that perhaps up until now previous relationships have kind of tried to make you believe you don't have, you're resonating with now. This is great, great freedom, individual freedom, and freedom from sort of trauma and toxicity in connections with other people. 3 of Wands, 2 of Swords, and a Wheel of Fortune. Wow, some of you are having to wait and be patient about a particular endeavor. This could be a relationship. This could be a project, right? 3 of Wands is the card for patience. Virtue, right? Having to, just stop for a minute and take a look at the lay of the land to see what the next step is. And though you're doing that, yet at the same time, Taurus, some of you are really caught between 2 options, 2 swords. right? You're caught between sort of two things that you want in your life, but you don't know how to pick one over the other. You really need both of them in your life. And so the Two of Swords reminds us that balance is what's needed here, not a choice. The Two of Swords is actually not about choosing at all. It's about duality, and it's about finding balance between the things in your life that seemingly are at opposite ends of the spectrum, but that weigh equally in terms of their value to you. Wheel of Fortune is coming in also. So there's opportunities. I'm going to say it could be that for some of you, some really special opportunities have started to come in this week. And again, these opportunities are impacting your decision on how to move forward. I think you're, like I said, I think you're feeling like it has to be all or nothing, or one or the other. But again, with Three of Wands and that patience, that having to wait energy come in, I think things will become clearer for you this week, Taurus. Judgment, Ace of Wands, King of Wands, right? Wow. So some of you, Judgment, some of you are beginning to see situations from a lot of different angles. You're beginning to see one particular situation that you may have been judging up until now. You may have been judging someone else, but also kind of judging yourself. The Judgment card talks about understanding life and understanding events in our life in such a way that we let go of our guilt. We let go of any judgment of ourselves, understanding that we're all human, right? Understanding that, you know, in order to forgive others, we have to forgive ourselves first and let go of sort of misplaced guilt. As a result of this, your creative potential really increases with this Ace of Wands, right? You kind of get back a lot of the energy that you lost in this kind of, I want to say, this period here of judgmentality in a way, right? This period of like things being right or wrong. Wands are to do with fire and creativity, and there is no right or wrong with that. And so letting go of these hang-ups has really opened up sort of a floodgate for you with regard to inspiration coming in, creative inspiration coming in. You have a King of Wands here too. So for some of you, there's going to be someone who wants to come back in, and they're resonating with King of Wands. This could certainly indeed indicate a reconciliation. They may be seeing that you're about to move on with this Ace of Wands, because Ace of Wands is also the great phallic symbol, right? So oftentimes it can indicate that you're moving on with a relationship or a project that's very close to your heart. All of this is what gets your your King of Wands to look back and say, hang on a second, I want to come back. I want to make an effort. I want to reconcile. I know that we had some really difficult times, right? But I want to be with you. Let's talk about it. All right. And this is going to come in for some of you this week. Justice, Two of Wands, and Six of Swords. So some of you are ready to find balance in your life again. I want to say that for some of you, it's been really an uphill battle recently. It's almost felt like, you know, everything's been skewed and not in your favor necessarily. Or I want to say it's just been like very tough going, right? And you feel as though you have been trying to move forward with this Two of Wands. You've been trying to move forward to the next step of a particular project. But I want to say that this week you realize that one of the things that you need in order to move forward, to truly move forward and to regain balance in your life, is to make a conscious decision to leave strife behind, to leave arguing behind, to leave power struggles behind, to let go. You know, just let go of the things that you were caught up in before that really didn't suit you. Six of Swords talks about making an intentional journey towards a harmonious way of life, a harmonious way of communicating with others, to leave the trouble and the strife of a particular period behind. Sometimes Six of Swords can actually indicate travel, actual travel. So some of you may be moving on. You may be moving towns or cities or even countries. You may be moving jobs from one job to the next, etc. But whatever the case may be, this shift here is coming on the heels of a rebalancing and realizing that in order to have this happy kind of next stage, right, you have to maintain your own sort of peace and harmony and commitment to peace and harmony. Temperance energy, there's Sagittarius coming in. the Fool, and a Knight of Cups. Right. So temperance is talking about tempering yourself, right? Having control of yourself, not being reactionary, but knowing who you are and being able to control who you are enough that, you know, you make the decisions. You don't, your actions aren't based on what other people do. Your actions are always based on your own decision, your own level of control, right? This is being the guardian and the leader, emperor, if you will, queen or king of your life, of your decisions, right? That's the alchemical symbol for fire at the center of the picture. And of course, the wings indicate that this way of living is divine. It is closer to the divine. It is closer to what is expected of you. Now, the Fool comes in because, Taurus, you're starting a whole new adventure. And so with this beautiful Sagittarian energy coming in, this ability to really sort of be very conscientious about the moves that you make, the decisions and the behavior that you exhibit, not to be a reactionary. All of these things have given you a great amount of strength to start this new endeavor, and in comes your Knight of Cups. Taurus, some of you have a person in your life who loves you and wants to give you a cup of love. They want to go with you on this journey. I'm going to say for some of you, this journey will definitely involve a new partner, okay, or an old partner who has come in to reconcile, okay? And the effort that you have made most recently really shines in the sense that this new stage is going to be very prosperous and and this new connection with this person has the potential for being very long enduring. Queen of Swords, Three of Swords, and the Hermit. So some of you certainly have gone through most recently. It may be that you've had an inkling that something was wrong in your relationships. You may have had an inkling that somebody was not being completely true about who they were. And so the Queen of Swords comes in. You are embodying that this week, Taurus, because you're refusing to take any bullshit or lies. This week, it's all about stripping away the mask. That's what the Queen of Swords is about, stripping away the mask and being true to who we are. This sword of truth is to do with our identity and how we present ourselves to the world. And the Queen of Swords wants to see your true face. She also wants to show you her true face. And so you start off the week with this energy and realize that indeed somebody has been lying to you. Somebody has been sort of not honest about who they are or what they're truly feeling. And so the Three of Swords comes in and you find yourself pulling away. And I'm going to say some of you have probably felt very disillusioned as a result of this. And so you pull away and you decide to get much more into your spiritual path with the Hermit. You really want to be just solitary, Taurus. And Taurus, you tend to do that. When you've been hurt, you tend to pull away and be in your own space, right? Hermit, of course, is Virgo energy. But yeah, you tend to pull away. You tend to be in your own space and sort of to gather your strength, your spiritual and emotional strength on the heels of what was quite a heartbreaking situation. Death, 10 of Wands, and 8 major arcana. This is going to be the last spread. And of course, death is coming in as a transformation, right? Transformation is coming into your life in all areas, Taurus. This is going to be physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And so you're finally ready to lay down the burdens of the past. You're finally ready here to say, with this 10 of Wands, to say goodbye to a particular stage of your life where you've really had an abundance of really burdens, responsibilities that you have had to shoulder that have really kept you from walking the path you've really wanted to walk, right? All of this is changing. Sweeping transformation is coming in. And with this, an increased sense of strength, an increased sense of being able to face life's up and downs, an increased understanding of your own strengths and weaknesses with this 8. 8 is the number for strengths, weaknesses, and boundaries as well, right? So again, you're coming out of this period, you come out of this period with a heightened desire to have the right boundaries in place. Your strength has increased to be able to enforce those boundaries, right? And this is all about a very new sort of like stage of your life where you're stronger, you're happier, You're freer, certainly with horse energy coming through. I would say the horse is at play here, riding you over this somewhat rough terrain to a period or a place coming up in your life, a stage coming up in your life where you are pretty free to do the things you've always wanted to do. All right. Now, this death, remember, could be new job, new living conditions, new relationship, everything. Death comes in is very sweeping. Certainly with the 10 of Wands, we're talking about a whole new shift in your existence in the sense of money coming in, perhaps love coming in, and the manifestation of your dreams beginning to come in. All right, Taurus, this is your reading for October 6th to the 12th. I hope you did resonate with at least some of these forecasts. And if you did, please like, subscribe, and share. As I did mention, this is how I make my living. This is my only form of sustenance in a sense. So all of the support that I give for you guys, I really appreciate that. Thank you for the donations and the private readings. If you want a private reading, you want to schedule a reading with me, it's very easy to do. You can just go ahead to the link at the top of your screen or in the description, and you can choose the reading of your choice. Our readings are conducted via online video, face-to-face, and you also get a private link to the recording of your actual reading of the actual cards so that you can go back and refer to it as often as you like. But for right now, Taurus, thank you so much for coming by Bow and Arrow Tarot, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye now.